Water looked inviting. Kind of day you might want to jump in a swimming pool or jump in the lake, but don't jump in the fountains.
I was just going to say, it is a great day to get in the water, but not the fountains.
Chien-Ming Wang takes over in the top of the 8th inning to face Jose Abreu, Brett Lawrie, and Alex Avila.
2.70 ERA, he'll take it. And you know, Wang, he gets a lot of the mop-up role for the Royals, but if you ask him, he's thrilled to be a big league pitcher again. May not be a prominent spot, but you got to have a guy like him to come in, eat up some innings. It's not like he's got a 5 ERA like a lot of relievers do.
And he's pitched well recently, well, more than recently, in his last 10 outings. His ERA is under 1.6. Ooh, Cuthbert on a hot shot from Abreu. High throw. Hosmer handles it, and Abreu is 0 for 4.
And that's what he does. Sinker ballers down, brings the ground balls. Cuthbert having a nice day outside of that one misplay. And that was his first error of the year earlier in the game.
A strike to Brett Lawrie. On the ground to Cuthbert again, and he is unable to come up with it with a diving play, and Lawrie is 2 for 4. On the topic of the Royals bullpen, Royals today welcome back Chris Young from the disabled list. He was out with a forearm strain, so Brian Flynn has been optioned to AAA Omaha. Chris Young, for the time being, will pitch out of the bullpen. So Danny Duffy and Dylan G remain in the rotation, but Ned Yost did say before the game that he fully expects Chris Young to rejoin the starting rotation at some point this season. Low to Alex Avila. He has 2 hits and 2 runs scored. Was batting 182 when the game started, and now up over 200. 2 runs driven in for Alex Avila all year. .58 at bats.
Well, you know, in situations where runners are in scoring position, Avila needs to be a little bit more aggressive. Back in the bases were loaded back in Chicago against the Royals in the last series. The bases were loaded. He took 2 pitches, and that was it. Didn't swing the bat at all. And loaded up. It's almost like he was looking for a walk.
One and 2. Late movement. Called 3rd strike. 2 down in the 8th inning.
It's a great spot. Good 2-seam run.
That brings up Avisail Garcia. He turned in our Dodge drive of the game back in the 4th inning. And that Dodge drive of the game turned a 4-1 White Sox lead into a 6-1 White Sox lead.
Yeah, and you know that ball, it left in a hurry. 108 miles an hour on the hit speed.
And then that guy was sentenced to a long prison term for reaching over the railing. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, you know, he didn't actually plunge.
He's back.
Hey, sir, it's my wife's 30th.
I'll take that ball.
Okay.
Well, which ball? The one that he got out of the fountains, or the one that you have?
No, the one that he got out of the fountains. The minute he got it, he handed it to his wife, and then they came after him. But I didn't see him go in. He didn't take the plunge. I think he just leaned over the rail.
But the SWAT team came in and they were escorting him out of the stadium there for a while.
Sir, yes. All right. We're glad you're back. Yes, sir. You got your ball. Happy birthday to your wife. I'm glad you're here.
I mean, you can't arrest a guy when in his heart he was just trying to get a souvenir for his wife on her 30th birthday.
Right.
So cooler heads and wiser heads prevailed when it comes to Royal Security.
That's right.
Hats off to Royal Security.
There you go. Very spectacular routine play.
We've seen Escobar do that a few times. That's got to be an extremely difficult play for an infielder. A high pop up, looking up into the sky as you go into a feet first slide. I mean, your body's going down, but you have to keep your head up.
Right, but you know the angle that you see Infante with his glasses on now. That angle he had, though, is he was directing his body towards the right field foul pole, so he was looking away from the sun. That's a good angle he took. And there's nothing worse, really. Not just the guy who loses the ball in the sun, but for Escobar, he panics and goes, "Oh no, I got to get over there."
Oh, 2 on Tyler Saladino, the number 9 hitter. He had a 3-run home run with 2 outs, and the count 0-2 in the White Sox 4-run second inning. Cuthbert is out, Escobar is out, and it's going to drop. Saladino is 2 out of 4.
I guarantee you when that ball left Saladino's bat, he says, "Fall. I want to knock." Been hitting some balls hard this year and they've caught every one of them. He'll take that one. Good effort. Just no one can get to that one.
And that brings up Adam Eaton. Adam Eaton typically is a thorn in the Royals side. But this year, he is 3 out of 18 against the Royals. He has not scored a run. He has not driven in a run. So overall, having a pretty good year so far, but the Royals have really pitched him well.
Monty had a few words for guys like that. He uses a grommet or a guy who's a gnat. He's a flea. You know, they pest. They pest you. And, you know, they're pesty and they bother you. And this guy's a good player. Hustles. Whenever you can keep him down like that, you're doing something well.
Two balls, 1 strike. Yordan Ventura allowed all 7 runs. He did give the Royals 7 innings. He did not allow an earned run over his last 3 innings. And then Chien-Ming Wang took over in the 8th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And if Wang can finish off the White Sox here in the 9th inning, that's a moral victory for the Royals, in that they allow 7 runs and only have to use 2 pitchers.
I agree.
Popped up. Wang wants it.
Oh, watch it.
Ow.
Oh man, here come Cuthbert. And he looked like he gave Salvia a Charlie horse in his thigh. Oh, man. I thought Cuthbert was looking at Salvi and was going to back off, but he just kept coming for that ball. Collisions haven't been working so far this year,
especially in foul ground.
We hear the word contusion a lot,
which is just a fancy medical term for a bruise.
It looked like it charlied him right in the middle of his quad. But we thought Moose had a contusion too.
Well, you're right, Hud. It did look like he went into the thigh.
Okay, with his forearm and elbow right there. And you hope that that left leg was off the ground, so it didn't, the spike wasn't caught, so it didn't affect the knee, but we'll see.
And Salvi is rubbing his left thigh as he gets to his feet. But he's going to have to be helped off the field.
Well, it looks like more steps he takes. He's able to walk it off. Hopefully, we'll see.
Probably scared him more than anything else.
Yep, I think so.
I mean, it's one thing to get hit like that, and Cuthbert is coming in with his left shoulder and elbow, but to get hit like that when you're not expecting it, and it did bend his knee back some.
We'll see. So whenever there's a collision and your foot is planted in the ground, so just wondered if he's able. It looked like he just was able to get off of his left foot before that impact. Well, we knew that Chien-Ming Wang wasn't going to make the play.
Well, you know, I was thinking that. I don't want to make light of this because we have had some fun with pitchers not being allowed to catch pop-ups. You know, then maybe all teams need to start working on that with pitchers. That was an easy play for Chien-Ming Wang. But you got a catcher running out from home. You got a third baseman sprinting down from third. And if Chien-Ming Wang feels like he's allowed to make that play, he just calls everybody off. He's going straight to the ball. Otherwise, you got two guys coming in from the side.
Well, the way the game is changing so much, you know, we're way away from the old school days. Why not start mixing your pitchers in? Pop-ups. That's an old term in baseball. Don't let the pitcher catch a pop-up. Old school. Now you could hear a pin drop at the K.
Two 2-0 on Austin Jackson. That's a delicate area for Salvador Perez. Remember, in 2012 in spring training, he had surgery on that left knee. So we hope for the best, but again, getting back to the fear element of it, getting hit that hard and in an area where he's already had surgery. So a player gets hit in an area where he's been hurt before, and it's easy in their mind right away to assume the worst. Three and one on Austin Jackson. Line to center field, and Kane runs it down, 2 away. What would happen, just out of curiosity, Hud, you played some third base. What would happen on a play like that? And I'm not pinning this on Wang at all. It's a 7-1 game. It's a foul ball. And just take the Royals out of the equation here. Any pitcher. If any pitcher just starts screaming, "I've got it," on a play like that, do the catcher and third baseman even listen to him?
It just depends on the location and where you are and where the play is. Lots of times the third baseman or catcher, they can't even get to a play like that, so they're going to yield and let the guy catch the ball. But on that play there, the ball wasn't hit all that high. Both guys are running. Cuthbert has priority over Salvi, so he was just coming after it. But I heard Salvi's voice more than I did Cuthbert. And Cuthbert on a full head of steam there. Sometimes as you're going for the ball, you'll glance down and see where the catcher is, and you can see that he's watching the ball. You might back off, but it was similar to Moose and Gordon. Moose saw Alex at the last minute, but it was too late.
By that score since the 5th inning. Coming up after the game, Boulevard Royals Live, and the topics for Joel and Monty have changed in priority over the past inning or so. It was going to be about Yordano Ventura and his outing today, allowing 7 runs in 7 innings. The pitching of Carlos Rodon, pitching out of trouble to keep the Royals offense down, and that's been a challenge lately for American League pitchers to keep the Royals offense down. But now at the top of the list will be Salvador Perez, who was just removed from the game in the top of the 9th inning after a collision with Cheslor Cuthbert. David Robertson will pitch the bottom of the 9th inning, so Drew Butera is now hitting in the number 5 spot. It'll be Paulo Orlando, Cheslor Cuthbert, and Brett Eibner in the bottom of the 9th. Paulo Orlando in the 2nd inning, single to right field to give him an 11-game hitting streak, adding to his career high. David Robertson is the 4th White Sox pitcher today. Rodon went 5 innings, gave up the 1 run. Pitched out of trouble in the 2nd and 3rd innings, but with a high pitch count was only able to go 5. Zach Putnam has picked up the White Sox bullpen today. He went 2 1/3. Zach Duke 2/3 of an inning, and now Robertson, the closer, is just getting some work with a 6-run lead.
He uses a fastball, curveball, occasional changeup.
Down goes Paulo Orlando, 1 away in the bottom of the 9th inning. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. They're coming up after the final out. Our producer today is Brian Shapiro. Director Steve Kurtenbach. Associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. As Cuthbert singles with 1 out in the 9th inning, he is 1 for 4. And now Brett Eibner, 0 for 3. All outs in the air. A foul out to first, a line out to left, and a pop out to short. And a chance for him to get an at bat against a big league closer. One and one. Well hit to right field. Adam Eaton is back, and he lost it in the sun. So Eibner's first 2 big league hits are doubles.
Off of a big league closer. I thought that had a chance. Now earlier in the game when the wind was blowing out there, that might have pushed it out, but now the flag's laying down, not doing any wind at all. Good swing, and he thought he might have had a chance with it. Hit midway up the wall. Eaton lost it.
Eibner's father Dan with a big smile on his face, getting a chance to see his son in the big leagues, and he's delivered a double in each of his first 2 big league games. 0-1 on Omar Infante, and Eibner has been the DH last night and today. He is a good defensive outfielder. Of course, you have to be if you're going to come up to the Royals system now, with a great arm. The Houston Astros, when they drafted Eibner out of high school in the 4th round, saw him as a pitcher as much as they did a position player, and he could throw in the 90s. Right now the Royals are using Whit Merrifield and Gerard Dyson in left field and Paulo Orlando in right. Two and one on Infante. Three balls, one strike. Royals did a good job of putting the heat on Rodon in the first 5 innings. Rodon, his final line is 1 run in 5 innings, but he only had one 1-2-3 inning. Royals had the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. Rodon was able to pitch out of that. Royals had 2 base runners in the 3rd. That's where they scored their run, and they had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the 5th inning, and Rodon pitched out of that. And the bases are loaded for Alcides Escobar. And here's that situation again. A closer pitching in a non-save situation, and that's usually when they're at their worst. You figure no pressure, they can go out there and, as we like to say in quotations, to get some work in. But as Monty has shared with us so many times, the intensity of the situation is gone, and the way Monty would put it, in the back of his mind, he felt like his teammates were saying, okay, let's just throw strikes and get out of here, and he wouldn't pitch his game.
Yep. Infante got a breaker his first pitch. Escobar didn't. Heater in. Thought he might throw him a breaker. He's got a big curve. Yeah, the adrenaline is not the same for Robertson.
Not a strike, but boy, that is a pitch with some tight spin.
Yeah, and you know, he's come up with that slider. That's not a curveball. That's a slider. So he's got more than just a power fastball, curve, and change.
One and two. White Sox coming into today were really struggling to score runs. White Sox were averaging fewer than 3 runs per game over the last week and a half. Meanwhile, the Royals were averaging 7+ runs in their last 4, and the roles have been reversed. 2-2 on Escobar. Robin Ventura's team coming into today had lost 12 of 16 games and 5.5 games over their lead in the Central. And a lot of those struggles were connected to a lack of offense. Escobar works a full count. Potential tying run is still in the hole. So if Escobar can reach, the tying run will be on deck. Fans holding out hope today. Over 31,000 are at Kauffman Stadium this afternoon. Inside, Robertson walks in a run.
Cuthbert looking like he's got a little bit of a gait to his trot. So he looks like he's a little bit sore from that collision.
So Robin Ventura doesn't want to burn his closer by having him throw too many pitches in a non-save situation, and he just wants to check on Robertson. Now, of course, a closer cannot create a save situation, because right now, if another pitcher came on, it would be a save situation because the tying run is on deck. But for Robertson, he created it. He cannot get a save.
If you'll remember back to the first week of the season here at home when the Royals were playing the Minnesota Twins, Molitor brings in Glenn Perkins for some work. He ends up throwing 32 pitches. The next night he came in and he was out of gas. We busted him and he went on the DL. So Robin Ventura is not going to let Robertson go much longer if he wants him for tomorrow.
There's that slider for a strike to Merrifield. So Eibner is at third. He doubled. And then the back-to-back walks to 2 guys who are hard to walk. Infante and Escobar. Escobar gets an RBI with his walk. And now Whit Merrifield, who is 1 for 4 with a double today. One and one.
What a perfect time for your first big league homer. Now we've seen him do quite a few firsts in every young player. Tonight, or this afternoon, he got his first outfield assist on a ball he dropped. Picked it up, got the force at second base.
Two balls and one strike. And really, that's the only pitch he's throwing. That slider slash cutter. There's Lorenzo Cain representing the potential tying run on deck. Merrifield would need to reach for Cain to come to the plate, representing the tying run. 2-2. Tough spot for a hitter.
Yep.
Still 2-2.
Right there. Hold off it just a tad. Merrifield wants to be able to cover the outside part of the plate, so he's got to be able to think that way. And that's where Robertson wants to throw it, but he can react in.
Pitch number 25 for Robertson. Grounded off of his glove into shallow right field. That'll get two to the plate, and the tying run comes to the plate.
Merrifield going good. He'll pick up a couple more ribbies with that. Line shot that was deflected, and Ventura now, he's between a rock and a hard place. He's saying, now look, my guy's already thrown 25 pitches. That's more than I thought it would take for him to get some work in this afternoon. And now with this happening, there's still one out. He doesn't want to wear him down, so he can't pitch tomorrow in case they need him. So his stomach's starting to churn a little bit here, as he knows the Royals can come from behind. They did last night. Their biggest deficit they overcame, 4-run that they've done the whole season. So he knows it's in their DNA, but can they come all the way?
5 consecutive multi-hit games for Whit Merrifield. And now Cain and Robertson. Slider for a strike. Lorenzo has a multi-hit game today. He has Escobar at third. Escobar walked with the bases loaded to get a run home, and now Whit Merrifield has driven in 4 in his last 2 games. Lorenzo has only seen Robertson twice, and Robertson struck him out both times. On the ground to short. Saladino to second base 1, throw to first, and the inning is still alive. Another run scores. So it's 7-5, and now Eric Hosmer comes to the plate, representing the potential tying run.
Now, what's Ventura going to do? You're going to leave him in with a home run threat? Good hustle by Cain. Very good hustle, keeping this inning alive. Drew Butera's on deck. They see that.
And now Hosmer, who's driven in a run, and he has a home run in his career against Robertson. Good take.
I never remember Robertson throw that cutter like that. So this is a new pitch he's brought in. And he's using it a lot today. Crowd here at the Cave, many of them have stayed. They believe.
He'll be waved home. Tying run in scoring position.
The Royals keeping the line moving when their closer was coming in supposedly to get some work, and Ventura's going to take him out now at 29 pitches. Cutter in, didn't cut enough. Haas didn't barrel it. If he barrels it, it's a tie game. But plenty of room out there. Outfielders, their backs were against the wall. They're playing no doubles, but it didn't work. Great pickup by Haas. Great hustle by Lorenzo Cain to keep this inning alive.
Drew Butera will have a chance to tie it when we come back. (7-1), and David Robertson got the first out against the first hitter, and then this happened.
Yeah, just a lousy little one hopper through, thinking, oh, no big deal. But we'll take the double off the wall, scores him to take the walk. Merrifield off the glove. That would have been a double play ball. Cain says, you know what? I'm going to beat out this ball. You're not going to double me up to keep the inning alive. And Hosmer with a nice stroke to right center field for a double. And the fans are on their feet here with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Tommy Kahnle making just his 4th appearance, and pitches to Drew Butera, who had to take over for Salvador Perez, who was injured in the top of the 9th inning. Down and away, ball 1.
Hey, Kahnle, he's a guy who likes to rear back and throw it, and he wants to impress. That first pitch at 98. He's got a slider and a curve. Butera, one thing, shorten up your swing, just try to put it in play, find a hole. Don't try to hit a big home run, be a hero. Outfielders fairly shallow. They want to, on a routine ball, to be able to throw out Hosmer.
(99). 1 ball and 1 strike. Butera choking up,
yeah,
like you would. One of the first things you learn against a pitcher who throws hard.
That's right. You got a fastball like that, you're going to use that pitch. Eaton in right field has 7 outfield assists, leads the American League.
Driven to left field. Long run, Cabrera. Tie game. Unbelievable. The Royals have scored 6 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Woo! Aren't you glad you stuck around today?
Drew Butera says, you know what? I'm hoping my buddy Salvi's okay. I'm going to do what Salvi would have done. Bring this crowd to their feet. And the White Sox, who have been struggling the entire month of May, can't believe it.
That says it all. And now the Royals have a chance to put it away. The White Sox are not going to pitch to Paulo Orlando.
Whoa!
Winning run is at third base.
How about another one of those, please?
Tommy Kahnle wishes he was pitching in 2017 when a new rule is in effect, when you can just put a runner at first base with an intentional walk. He's got 3 more pitches to go. Noonan.
Hey, look, it may speed the game up, but this is exciting right here. I mean, come on, Kamish. You never know in baseball. Wild pitch could cost you a game. Ooh. And an 87-mile-an-hour intentional pass pitch, that's pretty good.
And Avila is treating this like Canley's throwing a 10-carat diamond up there. So Paulo Orlando started this inning innocently with a strikeout against David Robertson. And now, as the 10th man, goes to first with an intentional walk. The scheduled hitter is Cheslor Cuthbert. And Cheslor has chipped in this inning with a single and a run scored. But Ned Yost is going to go with Gerard Dyson. And this is an interesting call because we saw Cheslor appear to be favoring a leg as he scored the first run of this inning. And it was Cuthbert who collided with Salvador Perez in foul ground in the top of the 9th inning.
Gerard Dyson's going to step in. He's 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter off the bench this year. As a matter of fact, it's the only. Well, no, it's not the only pinch hit. Paulo's 2 for 2. Moose is 1 for 1, and so is Gerard Dyson as a pinch hitter. Donnie Cooper, I don't know what he told him, but he probably said keep the ball down, but Dyson likes that. He wants to find a hole.
Orlando runs, and Avila just saved the game. 1 ball and no strikes.
Life is back here at the K after Salvador Perez, their star catcher, all-star Gold Glover, left with and some type of injury. The place was quiet for a while. Now they're back as Drew Butera, filling in for Salvi, stepped up with a big-time double.
One ball and 1 strike to Dyson. Well, when the inning started, I had pointed out that the White Sox had been struggling to score runs in the last 10 days, not even averaging 3 a game. The Royals, in their last 4 games, are averaging 7 runs per game, and they had 1 coming into this inning, and here they are at 7 runs, and they've tied it. And now the White Sox are going to put Dyson on.
Oh man, this is an adventure. They're going to face the rookie, and it's just his 2nd major league game, Brett Eibner. And they're not going to let Dyson have a chance for his first ever career walk-off hit. It's going to go to the young man with the chance.
So Brett Eibner comes to the plate, and before he went to the plate, he had a little chat with Alcides Escobar.
Esky, slow it down. Yeah, slow it down. Make it be in slow motion and come through for us and get you a consecutive Salvi splash. Of course, it won't be given by Salvi.
It's hard to tell this to a guy who's playing in just his 2nd big league game, and he's batting with the bases loaded in the 9th inning. But the pressure is not on Brett Eibner right here. The pressure is on Tommy Kahnle.
Exactly right.
Looked like a cross-up. I don't think Avila was ready for that pitch. I mean, this game is going into extra innings. The Royals have already scored 6 in the bottom of the 9th. All the runs charged to White Sox closer David Robertson. So Eibner should have a smile on his face like he does right now.
Might want to take a strike.
Borderline pitch.
That's something that Eibner's going to have to think about now. I mean, because he has an upright stance. He's standing straight up, and that 97-98 belt high looks good, but it's not. You can't square that up too well. Look at Ned. Ned's into this one.
Two and one. Boy, Brett Eibner, he's got to say to himself, this ball has to be right down the middle of the plate because Canely is all over the place.
Right. And there's Eske just trying to say, hey, look, just bring it down. Calm down.
Again, up and borderline. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see where these pitches are.
Well, look at they're out of the zone and you can't hit them. I'm telling you, you can foul them back, but that's the decision you have to make against a guy who throws this hard and loves that 4-seamer up in the zone. It's going to go right back with it.
.99 miles an hour.
I mean, he was fortunate just to get a piece of that one.
And to add a little bit of difficulty, I mean, you're facing a guy in the mid-90s, and we've been telling you this since the first inning. The sun has been in and out of the clouds all day. So one pitch, it's bright. The next pitch, everyone's in the shadows. As Eibner's trying to pick up a pitch from Canely. Another foul ball. So back into the shadows again. Canely came on for Robertson. He gave up the double to Butera to tie it, and then he intentionally walked Paulo Orlando and Gerard Dyson. Another foul ball, and that time Canely went with a slider. Brett Eibner was drafted in the 2nd round by the Royals in 2010. Drafted with a broken hand. Then he tore a ligament in his thumb. Then he had shoulder problems. Then he had a torn abdominal muscle. It has taken him 6 years to get to the big leagues, and in his 2nd big league game, he has a chance to win it. Just outside, and it's a full count.
Pretty close on that one. He wasn't looking down there, I guarantee you.
HUD between Robertson and Canely. This is the 50th pitch of the inning. 5-0.
Unbelievable.
Fouled away. And that was the most hittable pitch he's had in this at bat. With 1 out, Cuthbert singled, Eibner doubled. This is Eibner's 2nd at bat in this inning. Infante walked. Escobar walked with the bases loaded. Merrifield a 2-run single. Kane an RBI force out. Hosmer RBI double. Butera RBI double. And now back-to-back intentional walks. A 6-run bottom of the 9th. Line, base hit right field. It was worth the wait for Brett Eibner. A stunning, absolutely stunning 7-run bottom of the 9th inning.
Fan, if you're a White Sox fan, you have some indigestion. Second big league game. First walk-off hit. He
He's going good.
What an at-bat, by the way.
I mean, to tell you, it started with a nice little inning where Robertson was going to come in and get a little bit of work.
It's the first time the Royals have come back from 6 runs in 4 years. Brett Eibner and his family will never, ever forget today. Let's go down to Joel.
All right, we've got Drew Butera, Brett Eibner, and probably some Gatorade buckets coming. My goodness, what a comeback in this one. Brett, tell me about the emotions right now. Woo. That felt good. Well, it's been an interesting day to say the least. Welcome again, Brett Eibner, to the big leagues. Tell me about your emotions on day 2, because day 2 seems a little better than day 1.
Yeah, just had to get the first one out of the way, and it's just like any other game. And went out here and just tried to put the best at bats I could together and help this team out.
How are the nerves compared to that at bat in the 9th inning, where this incredible comeback has happened and you've got the chance to be the final hero, versus your first at bat in the big leagues that you've been waiting for so long?
I was actually really calm. I might have taken a couple big swings early, but I settled down and battled back into the count and got a pitch that I could handle.
I assume that growing up, those are the plays you dream of?
Yeah, I couldn't draw that up any better myself.
All right, congratulations, Brett Eibner. 2 days, 2 Gatorade buckets. Go enjoy it, and we'll bring in Drew Butera right now. Brett, great job.
Thank you.
Drew, you've been around this game for a long time as a player and growing up with your dad as a major leaguer. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, but I've never seen a team like this. You know, we never quit. The fans never quit, and you know, I'm glad we could do it today.
This game and this place went from being very quiet for understandable reasons to feeling like it was a World Series game with the energy in here. So you come up to the plate for your first at bat, first plate appearance of the game. Take us through what you saw and your emotions.
You know, just looking for something up out of the zone. Kind of thinking about Salvi too. He always comes clutch in those situations. So I was like, what would Salvi do?
That's good advice to take, and that leads me to the last and obvious question. It's been a rough week for you guys, losing 2 All-Stars last Sunday, and I know that the health and the situation with Salvi is very much in everyone's mind. We'll get news on that later, but what's your thought as a guy that comes in and replaces him when you see a guy like Salvi go down?
It's tough, but you know, Salvi's a warrior. You know, he's a big, tough guy, and I'm sure he'll be fine.
Drew Butera, congratulations on an absolutely epic comeback. Great job.
Thank you.
That is Drew Butera, Brett Eibner, a lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, and I'll tell you what, it feels and tastes good, Ryan.
I can only imagine, Joel. And by the way, the Royals at the moment are in a first-place tie with the Chicago White Sox. Brett Eibner in his second big league game, his first walk-off. And for the first time in Royals history, they are down by 6 going into the 9th, and they win. Stick around. We got a few things to talk about.